Hello, duelists, and welcome to the King's Courts. Now, okay, it's been a little while since I've even uploaded some Yu-Gi-Oh content. Now, really quickly, just put that out there. It's not because lack of playing the game. I've been playing the game, but I've been honestly really putting the work in and trying to get the Yubel deck down because man, I could play heroes completely blindfolded with both hands tied behind my back, but I'm still messing up on some of the combos of this. So, in this video, this is actually me playtesting my Yubel deck against the boy C-Bit's Red Dragon Archfiend deck. Now, as you can see, he's going off right here. I asked him at the beginning. He tried to use that Resonator search card, but I had the Ash, luckily. This hand actually was mostly hand traps, which can be good, but I didn't open up the Samsara Lotus, so we'll see how this goes. So we'll see where this goes. Now, this is a recorded gameplay from our locals' most recent Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG tournament. I didn't get a chance to play because I got there late, but someone said me and the boy decided to, we're just gonna play test because he was messing around with Tenpai Dragons, but he's not feeling it. I guess he's just because he just really liked the playstyle. And so he wanted to go back to really work on his Red Dragon Archfiend deck. So since I'm working on my Yubel deck, I decided, we'll just play test that. Because he usually I'm always playing heroes, but we already have that gameplay here in the channel, but I might redo that video again just to get a better quality. Because unfortunately, just right here, I had to caveman this. We were sitting next to people we usually when we record we sit on the end, that way we get the best position to set up the tripod, but unfortunately people were already sitting there, so I had to set up the recording this way. So sorry if the angle is a little funky. My apologies. Next time we'll make sure that it doesn't happen again. So that's pretty much everything. So if you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I got some Master Duel videos saved up later that I'm going to upload this week, and I should be doing another deck profile soon on my new build for heroes that I've been messing with, as well as my Yubel deck. So if you want to see that, and if you want to see a deck profile from C-Bit, see his Red Dragon Archfiend deck, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let me know in the comments what do you think of this gameplay, and what do you think of the two decks. How do you feel about the Yubel deck right now and the Red Dragon Archfiend deck? Because I think Red Dragon Archfiend honestly is pretty slept on. It's a really good deck. But right now, let's be real, Tenpai is everywhere. So let's be honest, that's the deck you're going to be seeing everywhere right now. So he's going to go into Hot Red Dragon, and he's going to set with 2. Luckily, I actually did have the Imperm as well. So I Ash Impermed. I did slow him down because usually he could just go off. So I'm going to play my Dark Beckoning Beast. So I'm going to attempt to try to use Dark Beckoning Beast to search out the Spirit Gates card. And luckily, no negates, so I managed to get it right there. So I'm going to see. So we'll see. He's just making sure. Even though because Hot Red Dragon, if you didn't know what it lets you do, once per turn, quick effect, you can negate a face-up card's effect. It doesn't negate the activation, but it will negate the effect, so basically, he was thinking about whether or not to do that to Dark Beckoning Beast. So I'm going to play the Spirit Gate, search out another Dark Beckoning Beast, and because it's the first one I already played, I get an extra normal summon. So that lets me go off right there to go into Unchained combos. So I'm contemplating whether or not right here, and I'm letting him know right here about the effect to get an extra normal summon. Yeah. And so I'm letting him. The unfortunate thing is, so then he uses the effect and negates it. So that sucks right there. So instead, I'm going to link off into Salamangreat Almirage. Now, what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to use the effect. I opened up Yubel, actually, the original one. So I'm going to use a better thing I could have done was probably just discard Yubel and summon it, but I wanted to honestly bait out any Imperm or anything, and which luckily he did. So I'm gonna link them off, and I'm gonna go into interview Muckracker. I'm probably butchering that name, so sorry. So let's see. Just waiting on this. Let's see. There it is. And I'm going to use their effect, discard a card, so I can summon a fiend back from the grave. I'm going to bring back the original Yubel. Yeah, I didn't open up any of the good cards. I didn't open up D-Lotus. I didn't open up Nightmare Pain, no Spirit of Yubel, no Throne, nothing. So, unfortunately, this hand was honestly pretty bad. So I'm gonna bring back the original Yubel. So right now I'm just thinking, okay, what do I do now? Because unfortunately, I wasn't left with a lot of options now. Because I had, like I said, Ash, Imperm, Dark Beckoning Beast, and Yubel, and them opening hands, so I couldn't really do much. So I attacked, and he's going to take the 32. And now, during my end phase, the reason my carcass into the grave, because Yubel's effect at the end phase, you got to tribute a monster. And because I didn't have D-Lotus in the grave, I couldn't use that. So unfortunately, I had to tribute off my own monster. It is what it is, right? And now it's his turn, and he's contemplating what to do now. Because this deck, we've done this matchup. Now, this matchup, Yubel versus Red Dragon Archfiend, is a lot like Yubel versus Tenpai Dragons. I've actually playtested against three different Tenpai players, including him. I have some experience playing against that deck at this point with Yubel. Honestly, Yubel has a really good advantage of them because they want to keep attacking during the battle phase and all that. You know, that's the only part of the turn that matters for them. But because if you have Nightmare Pain and your Yubel cards in the field, they gotta attack your Yubel. You won't take any damage. It's actually pretty crazy. It's even better if you can just fuse off their stuff too. So fuse off their big synchros. So this is a lot like that because this deck focuses on hitting big damage. So and right now he's gonna go into his other Red Dragon Archfiend synchro. The Red Dragon. I forgot what it's called. And he's going to search out that card, what's it called? Absolute Power Force, I think it's called. Which, if I remember right, is the name of the Red Dragon Archfiend's attack in the original show. So, hey, that's pretty cool. So he's going to go into his Resonator right here. Luckily, like I said, I got Yubel in the field. So I won't take any damage or all that. And he's going to synchro if I remember right, I think that's called, I don't know what it's called. But, unfortunately, he's going to use Hot Red Dragon's effect to negate Yubel's effect. So, right there, I'm kind of sitting. It's pretty bad for me. Oh, the new Red Dragon Archfiend Synchro from the Structure deck. Ah, man, I always keep getting these things mixed up. So, he's going to attack into Yubel, and because of Absolute Power Force, it'll double his monster's attack. And so, he's going to hit me for 6k, and he's going to attack with his Hot Red Dragon, and that's game right there. What can you do? It happens, right? So, that's game one to Seabit and none to me. So now we're going to go into game two. Since this is friendlies playtest thing, we're not playing a tournament right now. We're not going to side deck, because we're both legitimately just trying to get the builds right for this deck. So, if I cut through this part, you won't hear this part. So I might just cut through this part and go to the second game. If not, I don't know. Enjoy the shuffling. So yeah, that's the thing. The Yubel deck is really good when it comes to dealing with decks that want to hit big numbers, like Red Dragon Archfiend or decks like those. So that's why it has a really good match against Tenpai. But unfortunately, the deck can brick. It can. Even with Nightmare Throne and Terraforming and all them, the deck can still brick. What can you do, right? This is the nature of the game. So, since I lost, I'm going to go first. That way I can set up all my cards to basically, hopefully, I'm hoping I'll be able to set up or I can open up Super Poly. That way, during his turn, I can just Super Poly off all his monsters. So, I'm going to go first. And then I can tell you right away, game two, my hand was much better. So, I'm going to open up with Samsara D-Lotus. I actually opened it up to Sam. So I'm going to use his effect, Tribute, and summon Spirit of Yubel. Thanks to Spirit of Yubel, when they're summoned, I can add a Yubel card to my hand. I'm going to add Mature Chronicle because I actually already opened up the Nightmare Pain. I already opened it up, so I'm actually in a really good position right here. Because I'm going to play, because every time a Yubel monster will be summoned while Mature Chronicle is on the field, I'll get a counter, and those counters can be really useful. So I'm going to play Nightmare Pain. I'm going to destroy Spirit of Yubel, summon the original Yubel, and now from the deck, I'm going to set for Eternal Favorite. the archetype super poly basically. And the reason I said it instead because I don't know whether or not he has like Joel Lockbird in his deck, so I didn't want to take any chances. So I'm just gonna set that. So he's gonna cut. I'm gonna set another card. It's actually super poly. Crazy enough, I did open super poly, and right here during the end phase, I have to do Samsara's Lotus's effect. Summon from the grave, tribute off using the original Yubel. I have to do it. So he's going to try to use his card to search out, and I actually open up Ash. Again, I actually opened up a really good hand. So he's going to go into his Red Resonator, if I remember right. Sorry if I'm not good with the names. So he's basically going to try to search out his cards, try to go off. But I'm actually, like I said, sitting in a pretty good position. Yeah, I'm in a pretty good position, actually. So, basically, like I said, I got Super Poly set. And you can't see from here again. Sorry about the bad angle. Usually it's a much better position. We have the recordings, but like I said, I had the caveman at this time. I have my dice on Mature Chronicle because right now I have one counter on it. So with one counter, if I remember right off the top of my head, I can special summon a Yubel from the grave. So that's going to be handy next turn. So. They're gonna use that. I'm gonna use Favorite Contact, and I'm gonna discard the Spirit Gates from my hand. I probably could have kept it, but at the same time, I really didn't want to lose any other cards in my hand. It was basically either that or Super Poly, and I really don't want to lose it. So I'm gonna fuse off all his monsters, and I'm gonna go into the Yubel Fusion monster, aka I'm gonna go into Loving Offender Forever, and he just took 2,000 life right there. So if you be keeping track. That's 8,000 for me, and now he's at 6K, which will come up later. Spoilers. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But basically, I'm still in a really good position. I actually messed up right here because since I super polyed. Oh, no, I did. I changed my dice to put 2, so that way it's showing I have 2 Chronicle. I have 2. So. He basically passes to me, and now I'm going to use Mature Chronicle, bring back the original Yubel, and I'm going to use Nightmare Pain. I was just reading it to him to show him how Nightmare Pain works. So I'm going to destroy Yubel, and now I'll be able to search out for Yubel card thanks to Nightmare Pain. And because Yubel is destroyed, I can now summon Yubel, semi-perfect Yubel, I guess you could say, in a way, right? I'm going to summon Yubel Terror Incarnate. And if I remember right, I'm going to search out, thanks to Nightmare Pain, Grave Screamer. Grave Screamer is the new Grave Screamer is so good. I can't get over how great it is. And there you go, Terror Incarnate. I really love these new retreads, because I love how these cards are actually really good, but they're basically just better modern versions of the original Yubel cards in that final duel. That's really cool to me. Alright, and I'm going to put back my Mature Chronicle to 2. And I got 2 counters, and those counters will come up right here. Because I'm going to use them both up, because now I'm going to get the Spirit Yubel back to my hand. And here's the hilarious thing. He had no monsters, but I had Geist Grinder Golem. I'm going to use Geist Grinder, summon to their field, and special summon the Spirit Yubel to the field. And now I get to search up. Oh yeah, that's what I did. I didn't have Grave Screamer first. I had Geist Grinder. And now I'm going to add Grave Screamer. That way now he's got a big target on his field, and I got all these Yubel cards. And with Nightmare Pain in the field still, he's going to take all that damage. Now remember, he already took 2,000 since I fused his monster. So I'm going to have Yubel attacking the Geist Grinder. He's going to take all that damage, and thanks to Geist Grinder, he'll take an extra 3K, 6K, 8,000 exactly right there, and I got game 2. So that's 1-1. Like I said, I opened up a really good hand that turn. Oh man, I swear, being able to Geist Grinder can brick, but when it works, it works. That's why I still like to tech in at least one of each of Geist Grinder and Mature Chronicle, because you turbo through. Like if you're going like turn 2, and you have Mature Chronicle out or something, or if you're going like even turn 1. You can turbo through your cards so easily to the point where you can just easily summon out, crank out like 2 or 3 counters easily. And those cards, those can be really useful, especially with what I did to get Spirit Yubel back. So, and now I'm cutting his deck, he's cutting mine, and now we're going to go into game 3. Now, since I won, he chose to go, I think he chose to go second. Or did he choose to go? I think he went. No, he went to go. He chose to go first. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I remember this game. I had no hand traps. I had Call by the Grave, no hand traps though. So basically, he's just gonna play solitaire for a little bit. Hey, what can you do, right? It happens. Ah, man. Although I don't think he had the best hand either, because me and him have done this like not this matchup, but I've played against his Red Dragon Archfiend deck before, like with heroes and all that, and so I know what kind of field he can bust out. And he doesn't like he makes a good field. Don't get me wrong, he makes a really good field, but he's made better ones. So I don't think he had like as many like I don't think he had as much gas going turn 1, which in hindsight is good for me, but watching this now is making me think, okay, he probably didn't open that many combo pieces. So, but he still opens up on a good field. So he's gonna go there. He's gonna search. He's basically just gonna be doing all this shenanigans, summon his monster. He's gonna search. Oh man, that card is so good. I swear. The Red Dragon Archfiend deck, I swear, is just really slept on. It's got like so much utility. And I think it's really cool that, honestly, it's become this good, because I know Red Dragon Archfiend is like a huge fan favorite amongst the 5Ds fans. Alright, he's going to search out their trap card. I'm going to be real, I'm not good with names, so I don't remember what it was called. I'll probably put some pictures of the cards. I'll put like that trap card here, because I'm really not good with memorizing names. So he's going to have the red resonator. He's going to have his dragon. He's got, oh my god, so many cards. I was thinking to myself, man, I know we're not side decking, but man, what would I give right now for D-Barrier, right? Oh man, that'd be so good right now. So he's going to go into the new Red Dragon Archfiend, who's named, and now he's going to go into Hot Red Dragon. Oh man, that's not good. And now he's got the original Red Dragon. Again, I really like how a lot of these decks inspired from the anime. Like even in Heroes, how we use Neos. I like how Dark Magician, they do play the original Dark Magician. I don't know, maybe it's just the old head in me, but I really like I really like it when they include the original cards in the modern strategies. I don't know, maybe this is me. I really like that. See, so he's got so much utility. So I'm gonna go Samsara D Lotus. Yeah, like I said, he usually would be able to like bust out Bane too, so some other crazy stuff, and like Ultimaeus and all, not Ultimaeus, Crimson Dragon as well. So, but he didn't like. I don't think he ended up on that good of a hand for gas. Go turn 1, so which is good for me. So I'm gonna go in the Spirit of Yubel. I'm gonna attempt to use their effect, but unfortunately he got impermed. He's got imperm on his side, so he impermed the Spirit Yubel. So I'm going to use Dark Beckoning, Spirit Gates. He's going to try to Ash, but luckily, I called by. But unfortunately, Hot Red Dragon's effect is a quick effect, so he's going to negate my called by, so no search for me in general. So I'm just going to use the other effect to discard a special. Oh, no. You can't see it right here. Sorry, again, I know the angle's terrible. Instead, I'm actually going to 1-for-1 and discard the other Spirit Gates I ended up opening. I know, right? And I'm going to discard it, and I'm going to summon Grave Screamer. Wait, was it actually? No, I think it was another card, actually. I don't think it was Spirit Gates. I think it was something else. Yeah, because that's 1-for-1 right there. So I'm going to go into Spirit, and so I'm going to link them off. I'm going to attempt to... I'm going to basically try to bait out his stuff and try to attempt to do some moves. So I'm going to go use Spirit Yubel and Grave Screamer to go into King Yemma. So I'm telling him what King Yemma does. That lets me search out an Unchained monster. And basically I'm waiting for the okay. Because I don't know, because... Shoot, he already impered me. He already ashed me. So I don't know what else he could do. He's going to play that card. He's going to tell me it destroys my monster, but the effect still goes through, which is actually just fine for me because I actually don't mind because I want King Yem on the grave for his other ability. So I'm gonna search out Unchained Shavara. Even though we have Grave Screamer, it's still the Unchained cards are still really good in the deck. If I'm being honest, I mean this is an example right here. So I'm gonna now I'm just trying to concentrate because I have a couple of options I could do. He may have asked me to stop from using as a little. He may have asked me so I couldn't search out a Dark Beckoning Beast, but I could still use Spirit Gate's other effect to summon from the graveyard. But first, I'm gonna use Grave Screamer's effect to summon back Spirit Yubel. And his spell card right there is one of those branded cards. Because it was banished, instead it'll be shuffled back into my deck, and he gets a draw. What can you do, right? But unfortunately, even though he did imperm me, Spirit of Yubel's effect did activate, so he did because he impermed me, I can't actually search out a card. Those little interactions are important to remember. Spirit of Yubel's effect only works once per turn to search for a Yubel Spiral Trap. But because he impermed me and I did use it, I can't do it again this turn. It sucks, but what can you do? So instead, I'm gonna be able to go into the original Yubel. And I got a couple of options. So basically what I'm gonna do now is I'm contemplating what to do now because I'm trying to think, how do I get around his monsters because I got no way to fuse them. That's the problem. So I explained to him King Shavara's effect. Because Spirit Yubel was destroyed, I get to banish it and summon a fiend from the grave. So I'm going to go and bring back Spirit Yubel. Or the second one I had. So, by using King Yem's effect, because it was banished and I could summon a fiend and destroy one of my own cards, I destroy Yubel, so I could summon Yubel Terror Incarnate. This is a pretty interesting field because normally this wouldn't be bad, but unfortunately I don't have Nightmare Pain in the field. So even if I did, this would be game right here because I could just have all my monsters ram into his dragons. But unfortunately I didn't. So instead I'm gonna try to do some other stuff. So I go into the new rank 10 Xyz, and by the way, this card is amazing. This card is so useful, honestly. Especially if you can open up Yubel with Eternal Favorite or Super Poly and this in the field, you get Super Poly targets and an Omni Negate. It is so good, honestly. So right now I'm double checking Terra Incarnate, and unfortunately Shavara can't get over anything. Looking back at rewatching this, maybe I should have summoned Shavara like a defense or something. So right now I'm just contemplating what to do. Because Shavara's only got like 2k, and the rank 10, man, I can never, even though it's my own card, I have to reread it to remember its name because I keep forgetting they changed it when they imported it over here to the West, so its name is like so edgy, I'm not gonna lie. But so I'm just double checking to make sure I remember how it works, because basically how it works, it's an Omni Negate, so I can ditch a unit to negate, and then I can ditch another overlay unit to destroy a card in the field, which is very good. And but it's this other effect that's actually good. When it's attacking at the beginning of the damage step, I can ditch an overlay unit and destroy one card in the field. So I'm going to ditch one to destroy his monster. And then he's going to try to use a card in his grave that would have negated it, but that would have like stopped it, but I used its effect to negate. But unfortunately I lost all my monsters. Because I had no other plays after that because his monsters was too big and I couldn't fuse them. And I had to end, and unfortunately Terra Incarnate's effect, which is actually good for me, because now Terra Incarnate's effect activates that will destroy all other cards. But unfortunately, when his monster is destroyed, he can summon back that Red Dragon Archfiend. So basically, if I could have either had Nightmare Pain or fuses stuff, really, this could have maybe ended out differently, but unfortunately, I managed to play through all his back row and get rid of like a good amount of his big monsters, but I had to waste all my resources in my hand. So he's gonna go into his Synchron Resonator, if I remember right. Was what it's called, and he's gonna go into. I don't think it's another Hot Red Dragon. Is it? I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember all the Red Dragon Archfiend names. I think it is. I think it is actually another Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. Yeah. So he's gonna get to bring back the original one. He is still checking, so he's gonna use his guard to destroy Terran Incarnate. And I'm gonna be honest. I know a lot of people are cutting it out, but times like these is why I like playing Perfect Yubel, as I like to jokingly call it. But why I like to play Yubel, the Ultimate Nightmare, just in case. But unfortunately, he's going to basically use his monsters to he used Hot Red Dragon to negate, and that's pretty much everything. Because he played the Absolute Power Force, hit me for like a bunch of damage, and I couldn't do much. So he got it. That's 2-1. So yeah, that was pretty much the entire gameplay. This game was actually really fun, and I'm really getting the feel and the hang of the Yubel deck. And Seabit's really getting better at the Red Dragon Archfiend deck. I think we will just need a little more practice with it, and when we do, we'll come back with the deck profile. So, that's it for this one. If you want to see some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye!